Spotlight over the city.
You ready to rock, y'all? To the beat, y'all. Keep going, girl, you don't stop.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city.
Welcome to Spotlight Over the City, and I'm here with the one and only, the big homie of all big homies, Mr. James Prince himself. What's going on, big homie?
Oh, yeah. What's up, DC?
I put the spotlight on your city.
The moral voice of the movie. I'm playing an old school cat that's in a wheelchair.
You got me get them first, so that's how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Got warrants in D.C.?
I got warrants all over the place. I got warrants in 6 countries.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby.
I'm going down. I follow in the E class with the goggles. 96 models.
No, we can't say it. I can't say it.
The one and only Guy Lambert is in the building tonight.
I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATL, DMV.
Saying your spotlight over the city is on to something big, I think.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? Keep clapping, so I put a clapping to that boy.
Oh, you
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar.
I'm backstage with the one and only Mr. Trey Chaney. Give it up one.
And when you in the DMV, you rocking with Spotlight Over the City.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar.
Spotlight over the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spotlight Over the City. I'm your host, Stan Long, along with the lovely Terry T-Bomb Long. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Man, we got a lit show for you today. Man, we got an attitude, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Shout out to them Nats, man. They did it once again. I'm surprised, but pleasantly surprised.
Yes,
Shout out
yes.
to everybody at the sound of my voice, the whole DMV. Shout out to the DC area. You already know Uptown, Southside, Northeast, all that. Yeah, well,
All of
whatever.
that.
All of that, everybody. But I got to shout out West Virginia because the homies telling me that I got a lot of people watching in West Virginia.
Hey,
so
y'all.
we're throwing up the W's for you. We didn't forget. How about that? Shout
That's
out
right.
West
But what's
Virginia.
that shirt you got on?
Man, you know, what's the odds? You dig?
Okay.
Hey, I'm doing this for a very special person, man. Shout out Chris Hall.
Hey.
This guy is really strong out here doing some big things. So everybody behind the wall, we love you guys. We appreciate you rocking with Spotlight Over the City. And what's the odds, man? Productions. Go check it out. Go on YouTube. I think also on Facebook and IG. Check out What's the Odds. They got a big production coming up. Chris Hall. Shout out my man Stink. Everybody. The whole gang. My man Elliot too. Shout out Elliot.
Well, hey, y'all.
All of them. Let's rock.
Let's rock. We got a really powerful, impactful show for you ahead of you tonight. And I am so looking forward to talking to some of these lovely, amazing, courageous, I call them sheroes, right? October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's near and dear to my heart for some of the people in my family that I know who have gone through this and battled with this. So I'm really looking forward to talking to these wonderful women tonight. And Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine later on extended segment. So you all hang in there with us tonight. We've got an amazing show all night long.
All night long?
Yeah.
As usual.
But before we get into that, we're going to do our weekend recap. And do you remember, honey, what we was doing all weekend?
I can't tell people all that.
Not that
Oh,
stuff.
you mean hanging out? Okay, yeah. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
you threw me off. I don't know. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
not
all right.
that stuff.
I thought you was getting explicit.
No, that's for the Spotlight After Dark
Oh,
stuff.
after dark.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
You
yeah,
want
yeah,
people to-
yeah.
okay, you
No,
want me
but
to-
we
Okay, so okay, let's start over.
listen.
What you need me to do now?
We ain't gonna tell them that
Oh,
stuff.
so you say recap this weekend.
But
Got
I'm
you.
glad to know it's still on your mind. so that's
Yeah.
good.
So now what's going on with the weekend?
Well, we went to a dinner theater. I don't think we've ever been to a dinner theater. So shout out
What's
to
the
our
cat's
family.
name? What's his name? What's the
His
boy?
name
what's the,
is Lovell.
Lavelle Boogaloo Long.
Yes.
Shout out to my man Lavelle. That's Cuzzo family. He did an amazing job, and wifey and Lavelle. I mean, and Long did an amazing job.
Yes, y'all
They had a
did.
dinner
It was
theater
called the
situation
Golden
at
Girls
The
Dinner
Golden Girls, and they did amazing.
It was
amazing
funny.
cast. It was funny. Food good. Everything was cool. Good, great
Yeah.
atmosphere, great energy. Sold out 2 shows.
Okay,
Sold
yeah.
out. Don't
so
leave that part out.
It sold out 2 shows. Yes, the Golden Girls, y'all. It was this past
The
Sunday.
Golden Girls.
At the Carlisle
At
out
the
there
Carlisle
in
in
Alexandria.
VA.
Very nice
Yes.
venue.
Very,
it was
very
just
nice.
really nice. The people were looking wonderful. Lavelle, y'all did it. DC Black Broadway. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, y'all did that, man. So yeah, it was a great thing. So I had a good time
And
at
then
that.
we left there
And then
and
we
we went
left
over
there.
to Twink's birthday party, remember? And
we
Funk.
went over to Twink. So
Y'all.
happy birthday once again to Twink. And when I tell
They're
you,
gonna proper utensils.
you know, we getting a little old, right? You know, and she got one leg up. And so we at the party, right? And so when we get in there, I say, now you can't be on this dance floor now.
What
Terry.
was I doing though? I was busting
now
it
what
down,
happened was-
y'all.
I can't even blame her though. Now be honest now. Proper utensils. I don't know. You gotta be an OG to old head. Proper
To know.
utensils probably not for the young kids. But they Jazz Funk used to rock with them back in the day. And when I tell you he got on that mic, and when I tell you he cranked
He
so hard, I
cranked.
thought it was Essence, like at the Metro Club,
Yes.
like where
it
I was at
was-
every Thursday. And so
We-
and so when I tell you that I was sweating like a cold Bama, like
Yes.
I'm talking about like getting it in. My feet was hurting. I was
And
tired.
listen, y'all, he
I
was
was
about
wore
to go.
down,
He was
like-
about to go get the car because I was dancing even though I'm in a boot. I forgot I was in a boot, right?
And she get out there, got the hopping around
Man,
in a
listen.
boot on the dance floor, and so yeah,
They was cranking so hard when you left to go get the car, you didn't leave. I saw him in the daggone
yeah.
doorway.
They broke it down. I went to the door. When I hit the door with my hand, they did this something. I forgot what it was. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that-
dun, dun, dun. And I was like, oh wait. And I busted you and came back in there
Yeah.
and got it in a little bit,
Yeah.
about 30 more minutes.
Yeah, it was
But
fun.
So Twink, let me just
You
tell
did
you
it, Twink.
that you
It was
did
fun.
that, and we had a party, man.
Yes,
it
it
was
was
a
fun.
party, and I tell you that. So
Thanks
happy
for
birthday
having us
to
there.
you,
Happy
Twink.
birthday. We got some upcoming things. I think this week. It is this weekend. I saw him on TV. Leon, remember Leon from 5 Heartbeats and that? He's
Did
doing.
you remember our favorite partnership? Do you know who we rocking with?
Well, yeah. I haven't
Urban
got to-
Style Media. Hey, in case
I was
we
gonna say I
forgot,
hadn't
man.
gotten to like the news and stuff. You have to talk about
but
Urban Style and
so
Umbrella.
Shout out Urban Style, the
They
fam.
2 U's,
Yeah,
Urban and
Style
Umbrella.
Media.
Yeah.
Let's get with that.
But set it off the stage play. Jacarius Johnson, they're in town this weekend at the Warner Theater. And
Okay.
it's starring the Brat, Leon, Lil Mo.
Oh, they
Keisha
brought it
Knight-
back.
Yeah, Keisha Knight Pullen. Remember her? Lil
Yeah,
Rudy?
I do remember her. She a real cutie now too. I saw.
They
think I
are going
ran
to be
into her
at
in
the
Atlanta
Warner
one time.
Theater on Friday. I think it's Friday and Saturday
Child,
this
talk over
weekend.
top of me.
Or
I
all
seen it.
weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No, I'm not. I was just letting you know that if you all want to do something this weekend, you all can go see the Brat and all the rest of them at Set It Off stage play at the Warner
And
Theater.
they say that play was lit. I didn't
I
go
know.
see it yet, but I'm gonna try to get over there. So let's see. Do you think they gonna let us in?
We can try.
Okay, let's see.
You say you're an A-lister.
I ain't say I am. TJ, do you hear this foolishness? She say I say
I'm
I'm
like,
a
you
lister.
say you're an A-lister.
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't told you nothing that wasn't real about me, girl. What you talking about?
Spotlight News is sponsored by...
Umbrella
Yes.
Therapeutic Services.
That's right.
CEO Wes. Shout out
Yeah.
my homeboy Wes, man. What's good, Wes?
That's right. Hello, Wes Jones over there, Umbrella Therapeutic Services, who is DC's most reliable and trusted behavioral health organization. Umbrella provides community support, medication management, therapy for individuals and groups. Any DC resident age 5 to 100 eligible for their services, and they accept Medicaid, Medicare, and other health insurance programs as well. You can reach Umbrella by calling 1-888-793-4357. Again, that number, honey, is 1-888-793-4357.
That's what I'm talking about. I like when you bring all that.
like
in.
that,
yeah,
don't you?
that's right energy. You got right energy up in here. But we going.
Yes.
This is a really amazing show, and
It
we
is.
got an amazing topic.
Yeah,
and
we
it's
gonna get
really
real serious
a serious
soon.
topic, but we gotta still
Yeah.
make a good.
We can- you know, I
energy.
still gotta be
yeah,
T-Bone.
we're not at no funerals and like that. We celebrating life in this
That's
situation,
right.
so We
That's right.
overcoming something. and
That's right.
Being conquerors and kicking tail. That's what we. Yeah.
We are
we do.
conquerors.
So shout out everybody on Facebook, man. I ain't got my glasses on, so I don't be.
Where are
squinting
your
the camera.
glasses? Oh, yeah, you
They
don't have
over
to
here.
get
But
that.
shout out to all of y'all that's tuned in with Spotlight on Facebook. We love you
Yeah,
guys.
hey,
As
y'all.
You already know.
Did I go? I need to take care of that too on my phone.
What you
Anyway,
got going?
Nicki Minaj, she got married. Did you know that?
Well, I thought they already did it, but yeah.
No, they got a marriage license, but now they really actually got married. She married Kenneth Zoo Petty. I don't know anything
Kenneth
about
Petty.
him, but what I do know about him is that they went together. They were dating in high school. And did y'all see the picture? I didn't see it. I missed it.
Let me say it one more time, Justin.
They went to high school together in Queens. There
Okay.
you go. That's Kenneth Zoo Petty. And he got 5 babies, none of them by Nicki. And he's got 12 different mug shots in the state of New York. And one of them is for a rape conviction when he was 16. And he's now a registered sex offender. He has to keep
Well,
that.
wait. Did he do any good? Any damn good?
I don't. I'm just telling you what we know about him.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter for the death of a man back in
Okay.
2000. But he's all of that's
Well, he's
behind
reformed
him.
now.
That's right.
Shout out to prison reform.
Nicki said all
He's
of that is
reformed
behind
now,
him.
and he's doing some great
And-
things. And so what I do respect about somebody like a Nicki, I'm gonna just say this.
What?
That's what you call the epitome of a rider.
A rider.
You got somebody who made it and became extremely successful, but she didn't leave the Joker out when he came home from prison. Now I ain't saying she owed him nothing, but I'm saying you have to be really a rider
Yeah.
to go grab somebody's hand coming out of prison and go back and rock with them.
I agree.
Because you got a lot of shots at dating a lot of other men at this point in time in your life.
I definitely agree. That's a rider. Your boy Kevin Hart.
Would you do it?
I would wait for you to the end of the earth, baby.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I would.
I'm going to do it, whatever you say. Baby. I got you.
Kevin Hart was recently spotted out at dinner with Jay-Z and Rich Paul, so it
He was.
appears
Shout out
he
Rich
is
Paul, man.
on the road to recovery, which is wonderful. We've been praying for you, Kevin Hart, but they were I think we got a clip of that. They were
do.
spotted out at dinner.
Okay, let's go to the
So
clip.
Kevin
We'll be
Hart
right
is
back.
recovering. Let's go to the
Spotlight.
clip real quick.
Fine.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
welcome
So
back to Spotlight Over the City.
Yeah,
and
come-
so anyway,
Kevin Hart's recovering.
Definitely shout out to Kevin Hart and his
Yep.
family and a speedy recovery to him. And we appreciate seeing those clips like that. It does my heart good to see him back up and running.
Yeah, me too. Lamar Odom. He was his uncensored interview is going to air on Sunday on I think it's TV1, but we saw some clips of it and it's interesting. He admitted that he regrets dumping Taraji Henson for Khloe Kardashian. I didn't even know
I didn't know
that
he was
him and
dating
Taraji was dating.
I didn't either. So if you get a girl from DC, he should have held on to her. That's
I
a
mean,
solid. She's solid.
yeah, but yeah, he dumped her for Khloe Kardashian. We got a clip of that too because I can't wait to watch it though. I like
I
Lamar
won't say
Odom.
nothing negative about Chloe though.
I didn't either.
I'm not a
I don't-
Kardashian type of dude, but
I
I
like
do rock with
Khloe.
Chloe. I will
I
say
like Khloe.
Chloe. I think she kind of solid. So
Yeah, I want y'all to
Yeah.
hear what he said though about Taraji. Justin, play that clip
shout
for
out,
me.
shout out Lamar. He doing.
I used to carry a pitch on the road with me. Don't nobody know that. Except for dudes that play with me, but she gave me inspiration. You know what I'm saying? A black woman working like that, that's just as good as her craft, that I'm at my craft. I remember we were on a road for our longest road trip. And we were playing Cleveland. And I went off on their ass. But what I'm getting at, one of my inspiration, that's part of the inspiration for me going back to see her, getting back to LA, was one of the reasons why I kicked their ass that day. I remember how I was feeling during that game and that game, and she inspired me. Things ended with Taraji because of me being an immature punk. I didn't know how to tell her that I was falling in love with another woman named Chloe.
Need to be behind the chair with Naldo.
Hey, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City. Shout out Jeff on. I see you, Big Jeff, on Spotlight on wherever he is. Why I was like because I was trying to think ahead and shout out my other man. My other man, Ronaldo. I was trying to say something to Ronaldo, but shout out to everybody
man.
on there, man. Jeff, you got me all messed up on here.
So anyway, Lamar, now that you got you another sister and she seems to be doing good for you, then stick with that. How about that? Moving on, and this is a little more in line with where we're going tonight. A young lady by the name of Jade Davis, a woman who lives in California, she recently gave birth to a healthy baby after undergoing chemotherapy during her pregnancy. When she discovered that she was pregnant back in December, she told the doctors that she had intense pain in her breasts, right? And the doctors and her family members told her, oh, that's normal. It's probably just a clogged milk duct, because that happens when we get pregnant, right?
Right.
But if she hadn't asked for a biopsy, she said she may not even still be here today to tell her story. She actually she felt like something wasn't right. She was like, this is more than just a clogged milk duct. And she went and had a biopsy, and she ended up having an aggressive cancerous tumor. Wow. It was stage 2, triple negative breast cancer, which is rare and aggressive form of the disease. She had the tumor removed and then also removed she had 10 of her lymph nodes removed as well, and that was earlier this year. And the doctors told her, you should probably terminate the pregnancy. And she was like, nope, you all are not going to determine the fate of my unborn child. She went through the chemotherapy, and she delivered a baby boy in July.
Healthy?
And I thought, yep, a healthy baby boy in July.
We can give it up one time for that.
And I was just like, wow. And then, boy is still doing okay. And she's recovering. She's a survivor.
So that's the essence of survival. This is the stories that we like to hear more of, not the defeats, but it's a lot of wins going on with the situation.
Yeah.
So just in the audience, you guys can be a part, so you don't have to be silent. You can say and you can relax and y'all can breathe and y'all can be a part of the show as well.
Spotlight Sports. Congrats again to the Washington Nationals. They are 2-0, right? In their first World Series appearance. 2-0. They come to DC tomorrow night, y'all. So make sure you all are supportive. If y'all are here in the DC area, let's turn up.
Hey, so I'll be down there tomorrow. Spotlight will be down there representing, and I'll be getting some live footage and doing some interviews and talking crazy and snatching beers.
That's right.
And stuff like that. So we're going to have a great time. I'm going to have an attitude, as you
already
know.
Congrats to the Nats.
And
congrats, Nats.
Shout out to the Nats, man. Let me tell you something. I'm proud of them. Did I think that they would be here? No. Not after 19 and 31. I have to admit it. But, it's too many damn counts. So I have to admit that I didn't know that they would get here.
But they here.
But I will say I'm proud.
They're here. I'm
so
proud of them.
Shout out to all the Nats and the Nats fans.
Did you know that Jason Kidd is the new assistant head coach over there at the LA Lakers?
Did you know that?
Yeah, well, he is.
I did not know that.
And they already having rumors out there that Jason Kidd is going to be trying to take over as head coach. But yes, he is the new assistant head coach out for the LA Lakers.
Okay.
Who actually lost their opening game.
I don't think that's a bad move.
They lost, I think, their opening game to the Clippers. I think they got beat bad.
Yeah, they got some work
Anybody
to do.
know? Yeah, they lost.
They got some work to do. They get all right.
Spotlight Shining Star is my husband's favorite segment of our show. You want to tell him who your Spotlight Shining Star is, honey?
Let me get it right.
And get your glasses on.
I had to get my glasses for this one because I got to read something. So look.
Get your glasses on, honey.
Spotlight Shining Star. Where's my notes? This is actually one of my favorite parts of the show, you guys, and that's only because we spotlight somebody somewhere that does something spectacular in and throughout the community. And this week, Shaquille O'Neal. It's not always a famous person, but this week it is. So Shaquille O'Neal is the person that we are choosing to be our Spotlight Shining Star. Salute to you, Shaq. Shaq finds a home and let me start over. Shaq finds a home and offers to pay the rent for 1 year for the family of 12. The family of 12-year-old, what's his name?
Isaiah Payton.
Who was struck by a stray bullet walking home from high school football game with a friend in Atlanta and now paralyzed from the chest down. 12 years old. And so Shaq found it in his heart to reach out to this family, put them in a better situation because they was actually living in an apartment and it wasn't wheelchair accessible and that kind of stuff. And so they couldn't really kind of, help them out that way. So they put them in a better situation. Shaq put them in a better situation.
He's going to pay the rent for a whole year.
And he's going to pay the rent. I thought Shaq bought the whole house.
I was thinking, why you ain't just buy it, Shaq? But I'm
that's
still
why
good.
I started stumbling when I was reading. I was like, well, wait a minute, though, Shaq. I have to reject you.
But that's still good.
It's a great gesture. It's better
than... There's not too many people out here getting their rent paid.
It's not, and so
That's
that's
my
a
knock
great
on the
start.
door?
I
Oh,
just
okay.
want to know what happens after the year. But anyway,
Yeah.
Shaq, at least you got him in there. Somebody got to take
Congrats,
care
you
of
were our
us.
Spotlight Shining Star this week, Shaq.
Yes,
Big
so
Shaq.
Shaq O'Neal. Big
Yeah.
Shaq, you're the day's Spotlight Shining Star, man.
You got a black fact for the people, baby?
Yes, black fact. On October 20th, 1898, the first African-American owned insurance company in North Carolina, which is North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, was founded.
Those are those
and
guys,
this was in
too.
1898.
Yep,
And so we have been doing some aggressive things for a long time. Shout out Black Wall Street.
that's right.
In the movement, I am the VP of
DMV.
Black Wall Street DMV. So shout out to the whole Black Wall Street movement. And this is what I give you black facts for, to let you know that we didn't just start doing things, but we've been doing things for a very, very long time. A lot of times we wasn't able to be afforded the credit for
Yeah.
these things because we couldn't afford patents and those kind of things. But we were doing some amazing, amazing, amazing things. And that just lets people know you can do it today.
I agree, honey. So thank you for that. Coming up next, we are going to get into our amazing show tonight. We have a special show in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So
Survivor.
yes, we got some
We got some
survivors,
survivors
in the building. Coming up after this commercial break, we've got the lovely Benita Parker and Sharnita, but she goes by Juliet. Is that right, Juliet? All right. So coming up after this commercial break, we will have both of these beautiful ladies.
We're going to show you the epitome of strength.
Yes.
Coming up next, Spotlight Over the City.
Yay.
Got pictures and stuff. Okay.
What's up, it's your girl Little Mo. Be sure to check me out at the Set It Off Live play, October 25th through the 27th. Jacarius Johnson presents Set It Off Live. I'm playing Frankie. Get your tickets now, Jacarius.com. You can click the link in my bio, we got you, all right? Make sure you come check out the Brad as Cleo, Drew Sidora as Stoney, and Keisha Knight Pulliam as TT. Leon Emmett, Lil JJ, well he ain't Lil no more. Everybody in there say, everybody. I need to see you there.
I have been sitting under Pastor Dahl and Pastor Taffy from way back in the day. I think I moved here in 1997. I joined the church shortly after. We've been through different eras of pastor teaching, but I know the one thing he always has taught me is control my thinking and control my speaking. So you'll hear people say, I have a dumb question. Well, with breast cancer, there are no dumb questions. If you don't have the answer for it, that's what we're here for. You know, we have a website in place. We have a makeup session coming up with a woman who's been diagnosed with breast cancer. You want to look pretty. You know, you want to look good. And even if you don't wear a lot of makeup, your color changes from the chemo, your hair changes. It's such a life-altering event. But I didn't want it to ever steal their minds. Steal the fact that, you know, you don't have to die from breast cancer. Now, there are people who have died from it, and I can't say, you know, it's a pretty mean disease. You know, there's some genetic components to the disease, but we wanted women to know, as long as you're on this earth, control those things that you can control. And 50 Shades of Pink Foundation is here because we want to treat the inner and outer beauty of a woman. We want to help with the psychological and emotional side of breast cancer. And we're not here that we're the ones to make sure you get a mammogram, though we teach you right, or pay for the radiation, because we're again dealing with that untapped part of breast cancer where nobody's working with the inner and the outer part of it, the mind and the beauty. Again, a woman who looks good feels good. If you look good and you feel good, you ultimately will do good. And 50 Shades of Pink Foundation has a website, 50 Shades, the number 50 Shades of Pink Foundation.org. We are there, and you can communicate with us through an email there. We are having our fundraising.
My name is Suzette Bose, and I am a survivor because I have an amazing team that's taking care of me. I have amazing friends who have supported me, and a faith that has gotten me through this not once but twice.
Welcome back, you guys. We are celebrating breast cancer survivors in a big way today, including one woman who is in our studio audience who is diagnosed at age 25.
It's colorful, it's bright, it makes me feel happy.
To Crystal King, art reflects both sweetness and struggle.
There were splashes of hope in the midst of, grave times.
The 41-year-old was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer at age 25. She went to the doctor thinking she just had bad heartburn.
Totally unrelated, right? Like totally unrelated.
What was related? Crystal's link to cancer. Her mom was diagnosed with breast cancer 3 years earlier. Both say they survived thanks to great medical care, support, and lifestyle habits.
I just pay attention. I listen to my body, and I think that's important.
But that's not the case for everyone, which Crystal learned. According to the CDC, Black women are about 40% more likely to die from a breast cancer diagnosis than white women.
It was certainly a wake-up call.
Crystal's grueling treatment plan included a mastectomy, chemotherapy, and reconstruction. Then, admittedly, she got comfortable.
After I started to feel better, I stopped following up and following through.
Until last year, another scare, this time free-floating cancer cells around Crystal's abdomen.
I, was battling some stomach pain, and I finally went to the doctor about 12 months in. I went into emergency surgery not long after that.
2 surgeries and several follow-ups later, doctors eventually cleared Crystal.
The PET scan wasn't able to find any cancer, so I rejoice in that. I rejoice and call that a victory, for sure.
A sweet victory despite her dizzying cancer journey. A series of struggles, she says, with some silver lining.
We get so far out from a battle, and then we go back to our old ways, right? No more. I pay attention now.
She pays attention now. I want to bring in Dr. Terry McLaughlin, surgical oncologist from Breast Cancer Surgeons of Plano. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. I want to talk about this piece about Black women dying at a higher rate, a much higher rate than white women when it comes to breast cancer diagnosis. Why is this happening?
Actually, that's not new.
Right.
The problem is that oftentimes Black women are diagnosed at a later stage. They tend to have more aggressive cancers, and many times there's competing risk factors for death, and that all increases mortality. Also, there's a problem with follow through with therapy and treatment too.
What about, are they coming in later for screening?
They are coming in later, but even stage for stage, African American women are going to generally have a higher death rate. The biology of the tumor is a little bit different. You've got the triple negative component, which is a particularly aggressive form of breast cancer. But then even with stage per stage, and even when the tumor types are the same, we're finding that there's going to be a gap in the mortality.
Okay, we're going to talk a whole lot more about this. Dr. McLaughlin, thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Of course.
We want to switch over to Greg right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City. And as you can see, we have a +2 with us. Give it up for Benita Parker and Juliet.
Yeah, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Yes, welcome to
Thank you guys
Spotlight
for
Over
coming.
the City, beautiful ladies. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who did not read up on our stuff that we've been posting all week, Benita Parker is an author and a success coach for women, and she is a superwoman survivor. And she is going to join us today, along with the lovely Juliet, who is a singer and a songwriter. Who knew, right? And also a survivor. And we're going to get a little candid and intimate with their stories and learn a little bit about what they are going through and some advice that they may can give to others as well. And then later in the show, you all don't forget, we'll have an extended version, just another 10 to 15 minutes of your time for Dr. Jackie from the show Married to Medicine. And she's also a very popular OBGYN down in Atlanta. And she is the founder of 50 Shades of Pink. So we're going to be talking to her later in the show. So you all got to stay with us for the next, 45 minutes. Y'all stuck with us.
So can I shout out some people real quick that's on Facebook?
I'll let you do that, my
I
love.
want to shout out Netta. Shout out her. She's a big time supporter of Spotlight Over the City. So shout out to you, Netta. Shout out to Ann Long for giving a great production. That's the wife of Lavelle Long.
Yep. Dana Dane.
Dana Dane. We love you, Dana. You already know.
She's family.
The homie Jeff, Southside. DJ Jam and Jeff.
Yeah, for everyone who's watching on Facebook and our website and Instagram, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I gave him some recognition.
So thanks again, ladies, for being here. I will just get started with you, Juliet. How about that? We just kind of met virtually through your friend Courtney, right? Yes, Courtney was on the show last week and lit the stage up with her amazing angelic voice. And so we kind of met virtually, and Courtney said, hey, you all are having a breast cancer awareness show next week. I think she said her manager or something like that. And so that's how we met, and I started reading about her story, and I was like, absolutely, come join the show. So welcome again, and why don't you, the questions that were coming in our inboxes, I tried to narrow them down so that we don't, have like fluttered with like 30 different questions, but a lot of people wanted to know, you had 4 different types of cancer, is that right?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and how far back does that go?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I want to actually just take a moment and just say thank you. I'm honored for you guys having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak out about this disease and everything that comes along with this journey. My journey started probably late 2017. I just dropped an album, my first debut album. Got my video played on BET. I'm rolling and I'm getting ready to start booking all these shows, and all of a sudden I get really sick, and I was like, I got pneumonia, what's going on? And they couldn't really figure out, but I had a huge tumor that was leading from my underarm all the way down to my rib cage.
Wow.
And short story, they started testing, and they was like, well, we think you have cancer. And I'm like, no, I don't have cancer. I don't got that. It's something else, But I knew that I hadn't felt good in a long time. I actually had that lump checked twice by 2 different doctors who totally kind of ignored it. They felt it and thought that it was just nothing, and they just brushed it off. But it turned out to be that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and leukemia in my bone marrow. So I went through very rigorous chemotherapy last year for about 6 months. And when I say rigorous, it was rigorous. And so normally you get certain bags. You get a certain amount of bags. I had about 8 or 9 bags to different kinds of chemo coming in. So it was tough, but went through it. For me, the biggest thing was the finish line. I was like, keep your eyes on the prize. This is a marathon. It's not a race, and you just keep going. And so January I finished, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yes, girl, yes. I'm just sitting here like trying to, like. Yes, I am. I'm just.
So and I'm sure Benita knows, every 3 months we get scanned.
Okay.
Every 3 months they scan our bodies to say, okay, you're in the clear, you're in remission, you're in partial remission, or it didn't work or whatever. So what happened with that is that some of the cancer cells shrunk, not all of them. So I'm still battling all 3 of those cancers. Well, in May, I got my 3-month scans, and they found a spot on my liver, and unfortunately, that was metastatic adenocarcinoma breast cancer. So it is in my liver. It had doubled in size within 2 weeks, and I have a tumor in my neck here. So, which is why I have sometimes a hard time speaking. Yeah. So, but we look, I pray over that as well. Let me tell you something. I'm never a victim, always a victor. So I always stand up, and, a lot of people look at me and they're like, no, you know what I mean?
Just like,
because as you said, one thing for me is a changed mind will always lead you down the path that you need to be in. So for me, it was always change your mind about what you're looking at and how you're looking at the situation.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, listen, I'm going to walk through the fire, and I'm going to come out as pure gold. You better know
right.
it. Just like
That's
this
right.
mic.
Yes, girl, yes.
Yeah.
So you are definitely the epitome of what we call strength.
Yeah, thank you.
You are showing, it's a lot of people out here watching this show, and they need to hear the fact that you still are going and fighting, and that you're going to beat this thing, and you're going to come out on top, because they also need that strength.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's all in the mind. Sometimes you do crash down, and it's okay, but you cannot stay there.
You're human.
You don't stay there, because it's something that you battle every single day to stay positive and know that you have whatever religion that you believe in. I believe in God, and God leads my path in every way. And every day that I just get up and praise Him for every day that I get to have, you know,
And we also have that same faith and belief in God. And so this is the platform where you can praise God and thank God and say God. And we good with that here.
Amen.
So that's
Amen.
all love.
Yes.
This is that show. Yeah. We about that business right there. And our faith is right with you. And we do believe that faith is real. And we believe that you will be healed.
Absolutely.
By them same stripes.
That's right.
See yourself that way.
Yes.
Don't let nothing jade you. See, the devil has a funny tendency of showing you things that can be interference, is what we call it.
Absolutely.
So he don't want you to be able to look around that foolishness to see that finish line that you keep seeing. But as long as you keep seeing it, you will cross that tape healthy, and you will be a survivor just like you are today. So we thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like,
Yes.
I'm so inspired by you.
Yeah,
Thank
girl.
you so much.
I have no more excuses.
No, we don't. None of us.
None of us do.
I'm telling you on live TV, I have made a lot of excuses for a lot of things based on the fact of a lot of different things. But just hearing your fight and seeing your strength, I'm dead on that. I don't have no more excuses.
Listen.
They had to go in the trash as of now.
Yeah, and I will tell you, like, I'm speaking on Saturday at the Sports and Learning Complex. One of the main things for me is to get up and go. If I can't do nothing else, I'm going to create a legacy that means something to someone out there and deliver them from this awful disease. If they can't do it themselves, they'll watch what I did. I'll trailblaze if I have to.
That's
so,
right.
That's what you're doing.
That's what
Thank you
that's
so
what you're
much.
doing.
That's what you're doing right here.
So many people appreciate women like this. This is. I already knew this was
I'm
going to be
talking
like
about-
this. It's,
Superman strong.
Superman
Superwoman
strong. Wow.
Yeah.
Good to hear your story.
Yes.
But Bonita.
Yes.
We know Bonita through Dana and through just, we've been kind of like family now, like connected. So thank you for being here, Bonita. You look amazing as usual.
Thank you.
We could get into a lot of how Bonita has all these other accolades, writing books and all this kind of stuff. But today we are going to focus on your journey, right? And talk a little bit about what you went through and what advice you may have for people. And I know one of the bigger questions, we didn't tackle this with you, Juliet. I'm going to give this one to Bonita to talk about, because people don't understand what it means when you say, when you all say we're clear, and we got a good diagnosis. A lot of people don't understand what that really means for you all. And so I'd like for you to just go into a little bit about, when you were diagnosed, what it was like going through that process, what it was like having to, have someone help take care of you. And what does it mean, you all, when you say all clear? What does that mean?
Awesome. So again, just thank you guys for having me here. Any chance I get to share my story and to talk about this, because it's so detrimental. It's like a plague amongst our Black women. Like, we're getting it like nobody's business. So I'm honored every chance I get to talk about it. But I was diagnosed, just like you, Juliet, in late 2017, December.
Wow.
I was just coming off, I do an annual Women's Empowerment Conference every September, and I was just coming off of that. At the same time was my mammogram. And I put my mammogram on the back burner because I was trying to close out my conference, right? I'm like, okay, I got people signed up for coaching and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, I need to close out. So I put that on the back burner. And I never do that, but I did it this time because I felt like, breast cancer is probably the last thing that I would ever worry about in my life, because nobody in my family has it, right? It doesn't run in my family. And so in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, mammogram, whatever. Next thing I know is December, and I'm in the shower, I'm washing, and you get those little mini signals, which is like, to me, God's way of talking to you.
Yes,
to
girl.
say, okay, girl, listen up. And something was just like, Bonita, check your breast, right? And I'm like, what was that in my head? Let me just keep washing, and then it said it again, and I was like, okay, well, let me see what's going on. Dang, I did miss my mammogram. And so when I got out the shower, I stood in the mirror and I lifted my hand, and the first place I touched, I felt a lump.
Felt something.
Like the first place. And I was like, that's not normal. Wait a minute. And then before I panicked, because I also have anxiety. So before I went into full anxiety mode, I was like, okay, let me just chill out. Maybe it's just because I'm standing up and you're supposed to lay down. So I went and I did it the right way. And true enough, there was the lump. And I don't know what in my spirit just told me that it was cancer, because I immediately broke down and started crying. And
Immediately,
I went immediately
without even a
thought.
diagnosis.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went into like a full out anxiety attack. And my significant other, my honey, my honey was downstairs on a conference call at the time. And I remember like just kind of trying to make it downstairs, because you know when you have anxiety and you go into a panic attack,
Yes, honey,
it's like
I know.
everything. So I'm trying to make it downstairs, but I'm crying like somebody just died. And I managed to get to the sofa and I just collapsed on him, just in tears. And he ended his call, but he just held me and just let me cry, right? And he eventually was like, okay, whatever it is, you know, we're going to work it out. Just tell me what's going on, what's wrong.
Right.
And so I cried for maybe a good 15, 20 minutes, just bawling. And then finally I was like, I have a lump. Like I felt a lump. And I'm never abnormal. Like you know your body.
You know your body.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm never abnormal. And I think, you know, he kind of knew something was up. But he was just like, okay, just know that I'm here. Like I'm here. And for some reason, those words just did something totally to my spirit and just soothed me. And he was like, okay, tomorrow, because it was late, tomorrow we're going to call the doctor. And we did. And my OBGYN got me in immediately. They went ahead and did the mammogram. They found the lump. I went through all the testing, the biopsies and sonograms and everything. And true enough, it was cancer. By the time they finished all of the testing, they had discovered that I was stage 4 triple negative metastatic breast cancer, and it had started spreading in my lymph nodes. And they had saw some spotting on my lungs. And even though the lungs were too small to biopsy, and it's still kind of undetermined, but we're not claiming none of that.
At all.
So I went through an aggressive chemotherapy treatment, radiation, targeted radiation, as well as 3 surgeries. And that process was probably like 6-7 months of just aggressive treatment. And then I got the all clear that I had no live active cancer, right, in my body. And so for that, it's like with stage 4 triple negative, they have not yet officially found a cure for it. So in essence, like I'm out of the habit of saying survivor because it's such a touchy thing. I'm a thriver. Like I'm living through this disease,
yes.
right?
I like that.
And so I am a thriver of breast cancer. Yes.
And
You
your
have your
warriors.
survivors, your
Yes, y'all.
thrivers, and your warriors.
Yes.
That's how I break it down.
There you
So
go.
I'm a warrior.
Yes.
I'm still in
She's
treatment.
still in treatment.
warrior.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
writing these things down.
And so a lot of people, you know, they kind of get those
Yes.
terminologies like, you know, mixed
Yes.
up. Okay, a survivor is like free, clear, nothing to worry about, all
Okay.
cured.
Okay.
A thriver has a diagnosis that has no known cure yet, but no active cancer,
Okay.
right? And a warrior is still in active
It's still in
treatment.
active
Yeah.
treatment.
So the one thing that was a caveat for me was not only to hone in on the importance of caregiving and having a caregiver at your side, but just after you get that all clear, it's like you're still at risk. Like you're still on the journey. And a lot of people, the misperception is that, oh, she got it all clear. Now I don't have to check on her. Now she's good. She's free. You know, there's this whole thing and everybody shifts, right? And you're out on that limb by yourself, not realizing that my bones hurt. Like I have to learn how to readjust my walking. You know, I have to now develop a different way of eating, a whole different lifestyle. I have to watch the chemicals that I put on my body now.
Right.
Like a whole thing. My memory, I still need help bringing that back.
Right.
Because the chemotherapy eats away at your cells so, woo, it just eats away at you. And that after after treatment is over phase is probably worse than going through the treatment.
Wow.
Wow. See,
And
people,
so this
I
is
would've-
very enlightening
yes,
because this is things that we don't readily know. We don't.
A lot of people don't, and they, like I said, they just think like, okay, she's good now. Now I can kind of forget all about her. Girl, come on, let's hang on out.
Mhm.
Girl, I can't because I'm tired. My body has not yet recovered, right? I can't wear those heels no more because my knees feel like I have arthritis. I still have neuropathy in my fingertips and my toes and all of that. Like, you have so many after effects. It just,
And like you said, this is enlightening because it's just like you never know. I have a relative now, Kathy, and you just never know that she's still going through all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If I can go ahead.
It is one of the worst things afterwards. Like when you finish, it's like my life is chaotic now because you are just not the same person and you return. The funny thing is we both have the same kind of cancer, but I don't have any cancer in my breast.
Wow.
Whatsoever.
Wow.
It's in my liver and in my neck.
In her neck.
So it's such a weird
Wow.
situation.
Weird,
Yeah.
Because usually, like with breast cancer, people think, okay, well, it spreads to the ovaries or it actually goes to those vital organs. So breast cancer usually goes right to the liver. Yeah, it goes to the vital organs.
Yeah.
And so, you have to be really, really careful. And like when you do have breast cancer, the one thing that they do suggest is that you have a hysterectomy, because that on the travel path, you will get affected in those areas, but it won't land there. It's gonna go into those vital organs.
Did either one of you have a hysterectomy?
I had my hysterectomy prior to cancer.
Oh, so you had already gone through that. Okay.
So I was kind of lucky in that regard.
So no, but my other cancers had already reached down there.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I had already been at stage 3 because some of the cancer was down there from there. So I'm at a point where they don't want to open me up at all, because opening a person up with cancer can spread it rapidly.
Faster.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I'm learning all this stuff.
So I'm just, I'm fighting, and God is fighting on behalf of me. Let me just say, and I haven't even announced it to like a lot of people that follow me and that are, supporting me in my journey. I went to the doctors the other day, and literally my numbers were so highly active that they were afraid that they were going to have a talk with me about, getting some things in order, But I'm here to tell you, God is good, because they just ran my blood work and my numbers are down.
Yes, honey. Yes. Oh. Yes.
God is amazing.
Yes.
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 See, this is why I do this show. This is right here. Yeah. This is what I feel blessed to have a platform.
Don't make me do it, Benita.
Yes.
Don't you do it.
Hey, that's worth it. Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, so
I'm celebrating with you, and you're healed.
Absolutely.
You both are healed. Yeah.
What piece of advice would you can tell me which one of you all want to go first. I just want you all to give going through your process, going through what you've gone through, and having caretakers, whatever it is. What is the one thing that you all would want to share with others who may be either going through it or taking care of a loved one going through it, or you know what I mean? Like, what would you say to someone in that situation?
I have a couple of pieces of advice.
Okay.
For the caregivers, I would say be patient, right? Continue to be patient and be there. Like, I come across so many women who are married, who have significant others, who were left once the going got a little thick. Yeah, and these women would talk about suicide, or I just wish that I was dead. It's so vital that you do not go through this alone, that you do not leave the person. Don't leave the person in that journey, because it's hard enough And so you always want to build a support team. You always want to have people rallying around you, praying for you. One thing that was vital for me was that I had to get a prayer team together because in the very beginning, this diagnosis ate away at me like so much, and I have not shared, like, I didn't want to fight in the beginning when I first got it. And I remember my honey telling me, he was like, look, we got the news. It is what it is. Now I need you to, you know, put that fighter spirit that you have and fight this thing. And what I had to do was go live. I went live because I felt like I was hiding, and I'm not a hider, right? And I was like, I need to go live. I need to tell people what's going on with me because I need people to pray for me. I need people to do this with me because I can't do it by myself.
Right.
And it was like once I did that, I was able to fight. So it's vital. It's vital to have a support system.
Well, thank you, TJ, for being who you were for Benita.
Man, TJ,
Thank you.
listen to me, bruh. Hey,
Thank
hey,
you. Yeah.
one time for you, bruh. Let me tell you something. I know that just everything that your other half goes through, you go through. Not in the same magnitude, but because you right there, you have to go through it. You have to make sure you keep her strong. And I see the strength in you because you walk out here every day like it ain't nothing. And I know that it's more than something. And so shout out to you too, home.
What about you, Juliet? Do you have anything that you would like to share with people who are going through this struggle?
Well, I can say she did touch on one of the things that's vital. If you're going to be there and you say you're going to be there, you know, because I've been experienced with, you know, somebody not staying by my side, and it's detrimental.
Yeah.
It almost breaks you.
Right.
And you almost have to find some kind of will to get yourself back up. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a daily struggle because for me, you need somebody there to hold you, to hold your hand, and to just, you know, make sure that you know that everything is going to be okay. And not all the time can your mother or sister do it. That significant other being there is vital. Is I don't know what to your health. And the other thing is, as I remember we were talking about, you know, Benita was saying something about the neuropathy that we have in our hands and feet, which makes our hands and feet stick or get numb and, you know, have pain and all that stuff or whatever. I started an organization called Cancer Doesn't Have to Be Ugly. And what I wanted to do was always remain who I was before this. You know, I was a computer analyst. I dressed up every day for work. I put on my heels, and I do it when I can. I do it every time that I can.
Yes,
so
honey.
I keep
Yes.
that part of myself so the
Yes.
cancer doesn't take everything, like our hair and our breasts and all that stuff.
Yes.
I don't let it take that part of me. I show up and show out if I can.
That's right.
You know, I've
That
got to
is
get the
right.
stepping in my heels when I can.
That's
you know?
right.
So, but yeah, I think the caretaking is one of the most important things. And the Black community is sometimes emotionless. They don't know how to respond. They don't know how to say, come here, let me hug you. You look like you're hurting. They don't know how to pull you to the side and say, listen, what's going on? What's going on with your treatment? Where you at with it? Like, how do you feel? Yeah, let me take you out to lunch. Let me do this. Let me tell you, I have an enormous support system of friends and church folks and family and stuff like that. But again, I did experience the being left by significant others, and you know what I mean. Like, so with that, I had to get over that. You know, but my troop is deep, you know, and they're serious. So I thank them for, you know, sticking by my side. But if you are with someone in a relationship, do not leave them because it could cost them their life.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Thank you all for that. Do you? Is it pertinent for people to get their mammograms? Like you all,
Definitely.
yes, get your mammograms, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
How often does that happen? Because I'm a man and I have no clue. So how often should women do that?
I think for me,
Well,
they told me once a year.
It's once a year, but like for any woman with breast cancer, it's every 6 months. And then like if you have daughters or children who are like close to you, like close nieces, first nieces, sisters, they require them, like my daughter, she just turned 30. Typically she wouldn't get a mammogram until she's 40, but now she has to go when she's 32. She has to go 8 years earlier now. because
Right.
I am diagnosed.
Right.
And so it's very vital. And I want to also stress like early detection.
Early detection is
Early
key.
detection. A lot of women will not go. I begged my friends, all of my friends, to go get mammograms after I got my diagnosis, and I was like, please, please, just go. And a couple of them were scared to go because they didn't want.
Yeah, they don't wanna know.
They didn't want to know. And I'm like, this is one thing that you do want to know about.
Yeah.
Like, because the earlier you catch it, the better your treatment will be, the more chances, the increased chances of your healing.
Right.
So you want to catch it early.
So with me, piggyback off of that, I'm adopted, so I didn't even have a clue.
You
I would
have your
just go-
genetical information. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would just go pretty much, when I was 40.
Yeah.
But I had the lump, and I basically asked them to check me. I had a lump in my underarm, so they asked, they just felt it. But I say to Black women, you have to advocate for yourself and fight for yourself as hard as you can, because they will ignore us and our pleas when we're saying that we don't feel good because we're, I guess, extremely dramatic or what have you, but we get swept under the rug so many times.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had this probably 7-8 years where I didn't feel good. Lastly, but he said, I'm a man, and he was like, I don't know these things. Well, Matthew Knowles just got diagnosed with breast cancer. So, so the thing is that it's not just for women. You guys got to do some checking as well. You know what I mean? And be informed about how to check yourself and make sure, don't be too macho because it can happen. Yeah.
Well, our engineers just said we've got like 3 minutes, so honey,
They kicking us out the building.
They're kicking us off this segment.
All right,
You
well-
all don't go anywhere though, because I'm going to ask you ladies to hang around while I talk to Dr. Jackie.
Yeah, we're doing the Spotlight After Dark version because this is very important. And
Yeah.
so we just want to get as much information out to as many people as we can.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So honey, you're gonna have to close. I can't.
I gained so much strength, and there's so much information that I didn't
Yeah.
know. So hopefully you guys too got some information that's very important. You can pass it on to your family members and your daughters and your friends and your husbands as well, like they said. Very important show. Very, very important show. So shout out to all my, thrivers?
Thrivers.
All of my
Yes, and my
thrivers,
warriors.
and also my warriors and survivors, and just the whole nine. I know it takes a lot. I can't imagine because it's not my situation, and I hate when people say, I know what you mean, and I know what you're going through. I don't know what you're going through, but I know it takes strength, and I know you have it because you're here.
Yes.
And so thank
Praise
God for
God.
that. And God is amazing, and He's never one to quit on, so don't quit on Him. He won't quit on you, I promise you. See yourself whole.
Yes.
See yourself whole consistently.
Absolutely.
See yourself whole consistently, though. Yeah. See yourself whole. Anyway, man. Okay, so we gotta get ready to wrap this show up. I hate to let this one go like this, but we gotta get out of here. But we will be back in a few with the segment After Dark. You want to shout out anybody before we get out of here for this segment?
Shout out
Definitely
to
Urban Style
Urban Style Media.
Urban Style Media once again for
Umbrella
giving us an
Therapeutic
amazing
Services.
platform. Umbrella Therapeutic Services. Shout out to homie
Hall
CEO
Mills
West.
Network.
Hall Mills Network. We kind of forgot this morning. This earlier part of the show. So shout out to you guys as well. And Jeannie Jones.
Yeah, Jeannie.
Our
Hey,
LA love.
Yeah.
We love you. You already know.
Yes.
Kitty of the city.
Yes.
So we didn't mean to leave you out for sure. It's all love. So
Thank you for having me.
we got to wrap it up. So before we go, as we always love to say, love hard, live good, God first. Spotlight over the city.
Yes. Great